Good morning, everybody. And I'll say Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers. I took it away from Pastor. Usually when I talk, I have something funny to say the first beginning. But this, I don't have time to tell you a story, so I'll just read something that I've had in my wallet for many, many years. It says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Okay. Did you get that? I said that at my daughter's wedding. They asked me to pray, and I read that first, and everybody had really a kick out of it. Last time I spoke to you, I spoke about the things that God had done for me. How I believe that if whatever you ask for in His name, He'll do it for you. And I've had many, many, many things, too numerous to even talk about. But the ones I talk about that day were probably some of the bigger things that have happened. But the one thing I don't think I told you that day, one of the bigger miracles, besides God healing our marriage, was I had a speech problem. I couldn't even talk on the telephone all my life. And I quit high school because I was so afraid that they'd call on me to read or something like that. And one New Year's event at a church I went to, God healed it. And I don't stutter anymore, I don't think. But I came in a pretty good group, people that stuttered, quite a few famous people. I'm not famous, though. I'm just a farmer and a woodworker and a person that cuts off their thumb. I want to talk to you this morning about what God will do for you if you abide in Him. Abide in Him. Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Dwelling is a house or a place that you live. So what this really means is we have to live with Jesus all the time. We can't just be using Him when we need Him or when we get in trouble. I use Him all the time. Everything I do, I discuss with Him or talk to Him. And He tells me what to do. Do I always do it? No, not all the time, but I try to do it most of the time because I'm dwelling in His house and He's dwelling in me. And that's what it's about. The things that I'm going to talk about here, if you don't dwell with God, don't expect Him to do things. If you're really not in the God the way He wants you to be, and He tells you how to do it, He tells you every single thing you need to know in this book. So if you're not dwelling with Him, some of these things will not come to pass in your life. I dwell with God. He's in my heart. I think about Him all the time. He thinks about me. He saved my life. Cost me my thumb, but He saved my life. I passed out while I was cutting a piece of wood, and if I didn't hit my thumb and wake up, my head would have been in the saw blade. And I would have looked pretty funny I wouldn't have looked funny, I'd be dead. But anyway, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him I will trust. We must trust the Lord for everything, not just the big things. He wants us to trust Him for everything. I have trouble tying my shoes because of the stump, but I trust in Him, and I'm learning how to do it again. I couldn't button my shirt, but I trust in God to help me. And my wife, because she had to button my shirt. She still has to button the top button, but that's even before I lost my thumb. I couldn't do that. Surely He will deliver you from the snares of the fowler. A snare is a trap. A fowler is a person that catches birds. And the devil, all he wants to do is set little traps for you. And then he comes along with his net and he captures you and brings you to places that you don't want to be. But you don't have to do that. The devil cannot make you do anything. It's your choice if you want to do something that he wants you to do. God will tell you, no, don't go there. You know, one's here and one's here, you know. Does the devil leave you alone after you get saved? No way. He actually leaves you alone when you're not saved, you know, because we're born already with a, you know. But we have to listen to every word he tells us. The snares of the fowler, and from the pestilence. Pestilence. What's a pestilence? Sicknesses, diseases. I've got diabetes. Why do I have it? I have no clue. God healed me from all of the kinds of things, but I've still got diabetes. And some of that's right in here. It'll tell you about that in this chapter here. I have to check. I did make a few little notes because I'm getting old and I can't remember stuff anymore. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. He gives us things to fight the devil with. Okay? Ephesians 6, tells you exactly what you need. Just read it. Read the whole chapter. He'll tell you what you need. He says here he'll give you a shield and a buckler. A buckler is a smaller shield that you can use to fight him up close. The other one is for long distance, for when he starts shooting arrows at you and stuff like that. But the little one is when he gets right next to you and you want to fight him off. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Now this is back, I'm not sure who wrote this. I think it might have been David, but this is back when they didn't have guns and missiles and stuff like that. So he's talking about he'll save you from this stuff. You know, it could be the enemies, not the devil himself, but our enemies. You know, who knows what's going to happen? The world's a mess today. You all agree with that? The world is a mess. I can't believe what's going on. What's supposed to be right is wrong, and what's supposed to be wrong is right. I just can't understand it sometimes. Nor the pestilence that walks in the darkness, nor the destruction that lays waste on. It could be storms he's talking about. It could be, like, again, our enemies. It could be your next door neighbor decides he's going to shoot you. Or, but God will protect you. That shield you got. I was on the streets of Waterbury a long time ago, and we used to go out and witness to people every Friday night. I had a team of started out with about 50 people and ended up with about 5. Because they expected to see things that and sometimes you don't see nothing, and other times you do. Well, this one night, I was out, and a guy pulled a knife on me. And I just reached over and said, "You don't need that." And I just took it out of his hand, put it in my pocket. Now, if you trust in God, you can do stuff like that. But don't try it if you're not trusting in God. Because you might end up getting stabbed or shot. Now, this is my favorite one. This is 7. It says, 1,000 may die at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it won't come near you. 1,000 on my side, and 10,000 around me. What's that talking about? Could it be disease? Possibly. But 1,000 on my side from a disease? I don't think so. Sounds like me, it might be a bomb going off. It might be an atomic bomb where 10,000 people die around you and 1,000 next to you, It's possible. I mean, this was written before there was an atomic bomb. They didn't even have cars back in the... I'm kidding. It could be sickness. Could be war. It could be terrorism. I mean, I haven't heard any terrorists killing 1,000 people and 10,000 around them. So it's something else besides that. And I believe it might be an atomic bomb or that bomb they dropped on ISIS recently. Supposed to be the biggest bomb ever dropped. But God will protect us. He really will. He'll protect us. People think I'm crazy sometimes. After the towers, do you think I'm crazy, Sarah? She was laughing. I'm just kidding. When the towers fell in New York, we were going to an Assembly of God church in Waterbury, Connecticut. And we had church the next day. And some guy said, what would you have done if you were way up in one of the towers? I said, well, want me to tell you the truth? He says, yeah. I think God would have given me wings so I could fly off. He says, you really believe that? I said, yeah. He says it in here. He says he'll cover you with his feathers. He'll cover you with his feathers. Like a chicken. You ever see a chicken or a duck cover their babies with their feathers? I've seen that. And that's what God said he'll do. And it says in 8, it says, only when your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. What does that mean? It means all those people that died, that's their reward. That's the reward of the wicked. That's what it says. I didn't write it. Because you have made the Lord, who is your refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. Whereas we have to dwell with Jesus. Isn't that right, Barry? We have to dwell with Jesus all the time. He continues to say that in this. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. My wife prays all the time when there's tornadoes around, tells them to go somewhere else, and they do. We've had tornadoes come within a mile of our house, and she tells them, and that helps Barry because he lives right down the street from me. So you don't have to worry, Barry, about tornadoes. She'll take care of them. For he shall give his angels charge over you. Have you anybody ever seen an angel here? I saw one day in an Army and Navy store. The guy taught, this friend of ours owned the store. I think it was Army and Navy, wasn't it? Something like that. And we were talking to this guy, and he was telling us all these beautiful things about God. And I turned around, and he wasn't there anymore. So I think that's, I would say about 99% that was an angel. And he told us some good stuff. I can't remember what he said, but it was really great. At the time, it was really good. In their hands they shall bear you up unless you dash your foot against a stone. In other words, they'll carry you through all kinds of stuff if you trust them, you know. If you really trust in him. You have to trust in that person, whoever it is. It may be a person. He might be an angel. I don't know. Anybody could be an angel. It says they'll take human form. Isn't that right? We might have entertained angels. I don't know. But I know I saw that guy. He disappeared. And people don't usually just disappear. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to have to end it right there because the time is just about run out. Let me just... And the end, the last verse says, with a long life I will satisfy him, you, us, and show him my salvation. Show you salvation. Number one thing, I've been an evangelist for many, many years in prisons, on the street, and the main thing is salvation. I wouldn't even bother going on the street if it wasn't for salvation. I wouldn't bother talking to you today unless it was for salvation. If you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, today's the day. Today's the day. I got saved in a jail cell in Hackensack, New Jersey about 42 years ago, and I've never been the same. I'm not going to tell you why I was there. My wife knows, but she won't tell you either. But it took that to get me saved. You don't have to do that. You don't have to get put in jail to get saved. You can get saved right here, right now, right today. Pastor will give you a chance later on. I'm not going to. I don't know why I said that. I'll finish this up if there's a next time, if Jesus doesn't come. I still got some more of that, but I'm out of time. So God bless you all.